Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Dalton from YGO. We got Tino here.
Motherfucking building.
Tino, what'd you do today?
We got top 8 at the Versus Games 3v3.
Yeah?
Played Phantom Knights.
Phantom Knights?
Yeah.
How'd you play Phantom Knights today?
I was initially playing Branded Despia, but in order for that deck to not lose to Ash, you have to play a lot of additional non-engine or engine cards, and it doesn't really give you room for non-engine. And everybody's playing a whole bunch of non-engine, which kind of just destroys you because you're trying to prepare for Cashier. So this is the only deck where I could play a lot of non-engine cards and just throw 2 3s at the board and full combo.
What was your record today, Tino?
6 rounds, I was X1, and then I got demolished in the top 8 by Labyrinth. So, absolutely destroyed.
Hey, do you got any shout outs before we start?
Shout out to Versus Games for, again, always holding good events. Shout out to Bradley. Again, I was playing Despia up until 2 days ago. And he told me to play this deck, and we just went over a few combos, added a couple cards, did like 20 minutes of testing, and so, and shout out to my little brother for always supporting me. And everybody in Jacksonville. Shout out to Romeo Dallon and everyone else who came. So. Alright, so standard Phantom Knight engine, we play 3 scales, 3 boots, 2 cloak, 1 of this guy and 1 of this guy. Real standard stuff is just the core engine, pretty much how you kill people going second. Play 3 tour guide. Graph Seer. This is honestly probably, these are probably the 2 best cards. You really don't ever want to draw them, but Cherubini, send those, go in second, you start unicorning cards away, helps make it easy rusty. Play a small punk engine of Xiamen, Foxy Tomb, and this thing. Pretty much if you're able to go first and you see E-Telly, you put up Appaloosa before you do anything with these cards, which you'll get your Appaloosa, and then you'll be able to get your Cherubini back. And once you get Cherubini, you just summon any other dark monster, you just full combo them. So this card's actually the reason I ended up like losing going X1, but you actually got a plan. Brad told me to put this in last minute. It helps kind of space out the bricks because you don't actually want to draw any like the traps, or you don't want to draw too many of them. If you actually just see this card, it's like overkill. I saw this card like 3 times today. You just like super full combo.
That and tour guide, but that and E-Telly are the best cards.
Yeah, this card and E-Telly are probably like the best. I end up drawing this card, but it doesn't really matter because like a lot of times in the combo you end up having to discard cards anyway. This card just gets discarded, but yeah, I opened this card like 3 times today and you just like super win. These are the psychic targets you have to play for E-Telly, and you search one of them off of the Jam Drive Dragon. 2 dangers, free level 3s, good discards. Jump forward in this Cognitionite where the target's for a soul to add. And seeing this card with Tour Guide, it's just like super winning as well. Then we played this Mikinko engine, and this engine was insane. These cards are actually just ridiculous. Renard is the card that you're summoning off a soul by sending typically this equipped. You get to pick it up, equip it to Renard. You get to bounce this card and special this from deck. It'll equip here, and then this card will search this guy. You end up bringing Renard back to do a bunch of Cupid Pitch combos. But this card, like realistically, could be at 2. We're supposed to play it at 2 in case you ended up like drawing it, but you can equip this to any monster. You know, summon a Mikinko from the deck and bounce the monster. So go on second, like I was able to equip this to a conductor today, bounce the guy's conductor, summon this, special summon one of the psychics, just full combo and won. So this card's insane. This is like the worst card to draw, but you gotta play it. So. Cash tiers the deck, so play 3 Nib, 3 Ash, and just 3 Eclipse. My deck was at 40 without any of these cards, and because it's Phantom Knight, you kind of space out the bricks anyway. If you play like a regular 40 card list, you could just end up drawing worse. So we ended up just shoving these cards in without like taking anything out.
How many cards were you on?
I think it was 49.
49.
Yeah, it's 40 cards, and you just add those 9 cards, and you should win. E-Telly, God card. You see this card, you probably just win the game. Call by because it's at 1 is not fair. Rhoda and Foolish because these cards are like any Phantom Knight or like any Warrior. It's really good. And only traps we played were the Brigadine and Fogblade. I was initially playing Wings for the day, but with the thought process of even potentially bricking, I didn't want to risk it. So play this and you play these. A lot of times in the combo you're only ending on 1, and one of them is for like just a reborn. But you know, for follow-up, you could potentially use the 3rd. But that's all we played for the main deck. For the extra deck, the Cherubini, IP, Sold, Rusty, Unicorn, Griffin. We ended up putting this in over Levier because we figured against like Despy and Cashier, there's plenty of combos where you can get like Rusty up top, and you can put this card next to Savage Dragon and have Appaloosa under the Rusty Arrow, and everything they summon just can't use effects, so they just lose. And against like Cashier, if they start like special summoning the Cashier monsters, they can't really do anything. And you always have like a Fog Blade set, so they can't like swing over it. So this card was crazy all day. I summoned this card plenty of times. It was nuts. Appaloosa, access code.
That shit probably was dead all day.
This card was dead. It didn't really do too much. Probably could have been something else. But I mean, like I said, it's supposed to just help you kill going second. This is for the engine. Like I say, the combo goes, you summon the Renaud, get the Makenko guy, you make Cupid Pitch, you get the other equip spell, you'll reborn it, you'll make Savage Dragon, equip is sold. This is, again, if you open up you open up E-Telly, you just go Xiamen, get Foxy Tune, bring out Deer Note, make this guy, he searches a level 3, Deer Note brings back Xiamen, especially the 3 make Cherubini, send grab, summon Seer, just make Appaloosa, Cherubini comes back, just full combo win. Yeah, this is Dark Target I played, could have been Redoor. If it was Redoor in top 8, I might have had a better chance, but I played this because I figured Cashier and other decks would be around. It wasn't terrible, but I didn't really summon it. He played 2 Break Swords and then Zeus. And then side deck, probably the best card in side deck. This card's crazy. This card, yeah, this card and this card. I had so many people where I went first, full comboed them, and they concede. I just side all these in. It didn't matter what your board is. Every deck was losing to Droll, and this card literally just wins every matchup. So these cards are easily the MVPs of the side deck. I played 3 Crossout because going first, I didn't really have too many cards to put in. So I normally just side out like 2 Nibs, 2 Ashes, depending on what it is. And my deck can already play through Nib, can already play through Ash, but those are the only cards that theoretically threaten me. With the stuff I'm ending on, Book of Eclipse doesn't really do anything. So just leaving these in for those cards was decent. I saw it once and lost. I don't know if he actually played again, but yeah. We played this because Runic, Bradley told me to play this. We just need more back row hate in general. I saw it one time against Labyrinth and lost, so I don't know if I'd ever play it again. In theory, it makes sense. And then we sided 3 Barrier. It was either this card or the Ancient Super Organism that doesn't let like cards use effects. So we ended up going with this because it was good against the Sprite matchup too.
I think in theory this might be better because it'll help against Labyrinth.
Yeah.
So you put the Super Agent in against Labyrinth.
Yeah. This card came up today because I played against like Sprite deck and summon 2/2s called Exceed, and you wait for them to give you your turn so you can kill them. Like that was the deck. I was undefeated up until the last round of Switch, which was 6 rounds. I ended up losing because my last hand was actually just completely unplayable. But other than that, I destroyed everybody else. So yeah, the deck was pretty good though. I'd probably end up playing it again. It's one of those decks where the engine is literally just 2 3s, so you can afford to put a lot of non-engine cards in the deck. And as long as you have things like Nib, Book of Eclipse, and Ash for the Cashier matchup, you put 2 3s on board and just full combo them. So.
Appreciate it, Tino. Thanks, man.
No problem.